Hey guys, Ranger here, and welcome back to another video. I decided it probably would be best to make a video addressing this because I still get comments even today on my Initial D videos, and I made this decision once I finished the second stage, and I thought it would. I know it's been a while since then, but I decided I probably should make a video and address this completely, and let this be completely known that I made the choice to stop doing any further reactions and reviews to Initial D. I won't be continuing with any more stages of Initial D, and there are a few reasons why. Uh, One reason is because of the way YouTube is today. Um, YouTube is a lot more strict than it was years ago. You know, YouTube is not the way that it was several years ago. It's a lot more strict today. Copyright is a lot more strict. Um, Heck, since I finished the second stage, I've already had several of my Initial D reactions get blocked worldwide. And so it was a big enough gamble to do the first and second stages as it were. I really don't want to take a chance with doing any more. I really don't want to do that. Um, I really don't want to take that chance any further. And so that's one reason why I won't be continuing with any more episodes of Initial D. Um, Number two, and there are several different things that go into number two, is because basically I just became stressed with doing Initial D videos, and there are several reasons as to why that I became stressed and I became burnt out on Initial D. Firstly, I did get some good positive comments from people, and I really, really appreciate that. And so to those who followed me throughout the first and second stage of Initial D, to the calm, civil, and understanding and patient people, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you guys joined me for that little journey. But still, my videos unfortunately began to attract the impatient people in the Initial D fandom. And don't worry, my perception, my view on the Initial D fandom has not been tarnished. I understand that there are bad apples in every bunch. I know that. But unfortunately, for some reason, some of those bad apples began to flock to my channel. And I don't want those people here. Honestly, they're not welcome. You know. Um, and so I'm going to put some of the comments I received up on screen. This is just some of them. There are more. But at one point, I had a couple of people get upset at me because I got the make of a car wrong. Which apparently, for some people in the Initial D fandom or in the Gearhead community in general, getting the make of a car wrong either is a completely heinous act or it marks you as a complete and utter retard. Well, gee, thanks for having, a civil attitude and for being understanding that there's some people who don't know and are willing to learn. Thank you for that. Um, so I had somebody tell me that that I didn't know anything about cars. You know what? I was born and raised in the United States, okay? I was not, as soon as I popped out of the womb, I was not put on a boat and shipped over, or on a plane and shipped over to Japan so that I could grow up knowing about Japanese makes. I wasn't, okay? I grew up with American-made cars and trucks. I grew up with American-made vehicles, and I mean, the only anime that I was able to watch was some years ago. It used to come on late at night on TV, and it was Full Metal Alchemist and a couple of other anime. Initial D was never part of it. I didn't actually start watching Initial D until whenever I started actually watching it on my channel. That was whenever I actually started watching Initial D. And so, I grew up around American-made cars. I don't know a lot. I know very little about foreign cars. I can identify some by the body, but not as much as I can American cars. But I realized through doing the Initial D reactions that there are some people in the Initial D fandom and the Gearhead community that they don't want you to learn. In fact, these people seem to have the same mentality that a lot of bosses and jobs in general have today. They don't want to teach you anything. They don't want you to learn anything. They want you to come into it automatically knowing everything. That's not how it should be, but that's the way that it is. And these people, I found out there are some people out there in the Gearhead community and in the Initial D fandom that will ridicule you simply because you don't know about a car. To them, if you say you are a fan of Initial D, or if you say that you are a gearhead, a car girl, a car guy, or a car girl, that means you should automatically, by their expectations, you should be able to look at any car and tell the make, model, year, engine size, tire size, and the 0 to 60. That's not what being an automotive enthusiast means, okay? That's not what being a gearhead means. It means you have an interest in it and you want to learn. I think it's funny though that some of these people in the Initial D fandom and the gearhead community, apparently they don't want you to be able to learn. You know, I myself I think it'd be fun to encounter somebody who is excited to get to share their knowledge with somebody who doesn't know something. But instead, nope, some of these people don't want you to have to learn. They want you to automatically know everything. And unfortunately, those are some of the people that that was how I was beginning to feel. That these people didn't like that I didn't know about the cars in Initial D, that they wanted me to already know everything. And so I began to feel stressed over that. Another reason I began to feel stressed is because I also started attracting a lot of impatient people to my channel. And it was getting annoying that every time that I would log in and go to the comments, I would find comments asking me, when's the next episode of Initial D coming out? When are we going to get the next episode? When are you going to check out this stage, which is 2 or 3 stages later? And I'm like, I'm thinking, okay, you know what? Give me time here. Like, it was beginning to stress me out because there were other videos that I wanted to do on my channel besides Initial D. But it was getting super annoying to log in to I would I would be excited. I would do a video that was not Initial D. I would be excited to get that video uploaded. And then it was annoying to log in and find the very first comment that I would get on that video is, when is the next episode of Initial D coming out? To me, that comment was irrelevant because they said, I mean, they didn't bother saying anything about the context of the video that they were on. You know, they didn't bother saying anything about it. Nope, instead, they asked about another video on a video that was irrelevant to the video that they were talking about. And FYI, people, it doesn't matter what video you comment on. The way YouTube's comment system works, you can comment on the very first video that somebody ever did, and that comment will still appear at the top of their latest comment feed. And so you didn't have to comment on the latest video thinking that I was more likely to see it. The comment, regardless of what video you commented on, was always at the top because it was the latest one. But it was annoying that I would be excited to get a video up that wasn't Initial D, and then suddenly I would have somebody asking for Initial D. You know, and it was irrelevant, and it was just getting annoying. Another thing is it made me begin to feel that people just wanted me to just drop everything else on my channel and just focus on Initial D and not do anything else. And I didn't want to do that. And also, I began to get the impression that people just wanted me to just love Initial D. Like, love Initial D more than any other anime. And the fact is, I never did, and even now I don't. There are several other anime that I can name off easily that I love a lot more than Initial D. You're Under Arrest, Full Metal Alchemist, X-Driver, Gunsmith Cats, Zero no Sakaima, Shakugan no Shana, Little Witch Academia, and I like Attack on Titan as well. These, Defrag, these are anime that I love more than Initial D. And car-related anime, I love You're Under Arrest and Ex-Driver and Gunsmith Cats a lot more than Initial D. But some people just, I don't think they would have ever have understood that. And it was getting super annoying and I was beginning to get stressed. It was making me begin to lose interest in Initial D, and I just began to get to a point where I just wasn't enjoying it like I should have been. And I began to dread it. I began to dread doing Initial D videos. I remember even one point I finished uploading a reaction to Initial D, and the very first comment that I got was, "When is the next episode coming out?" I just uploaded one, and the very first comment I get is, "When is the next one coming out?" And so it was just really beginning to stress me out. It didn't matter, like, it began to feel like no matter what other video that I did that wasn't involving Initial D, I would get comments asking me, when am I going to continue with Initial D? And it made it, I began to feel like that was the only thing that, and some of these people would never comment, and the funny thing was some of these people kind of wouldn't ever comment on any of my other videos, just on the Initial D videos. And it didn't seem to matter that, you know, I had a job that I had to tend to, and I didn't have as much time. You know, I had guaranteed 2 days off a week, and it didn't seem to matter that I had to balance work, home life, you know, family, and a YouTube channel at the same time, and try to do not just Initial D, but other videos that I wanted to do as well. And then I remember also had someone make the remark to me, well, that, you know, I was continuing with MLP, but I was putting off Initial D. Yep, because MLP was still airing at the time, and I wanted to stay up to date with what was going on, because I'm a much bigger fan of MLP than I ever was Initial D. Likewise, I'm also a much bigger Disney fan. I'm a much bigger Doctor Who fan. I'm a much bigger Supernatural fan than I ever was Initial D. And so I remember getting that comment, and like I said, I wanted to stay up to date with MLP because it was still airing. Initial D has been over for more than 10 years. And so I was also getting stressed over that. And then I also got comments from people. I also got other different comments from people as well. I got hostile comments from people trying to, like, calling me names, insulting me, because I made the video too small. I also had people arguing. Like, some people were telling me that I shouldn't have watched I shouldn't have watched the subbed version. I should have watched the English dub. And then other people were like, "I'm glad you did the sub version because the English dub sucks." And I'm like, how do you satisfy these people? Because you do it one way, you're going to tick off others. And it was just really that was also stressing me out as well, because most of the time I watch subbed anime. There have been times that that I have watched, there are times where I watch English dub anime. Also, other anime that I watch, Beastars, Agretsuko, I really like the English dubs for those. Depending on the anime, sometimes I'll check out, Black Lagoon is another anime that I love, and the English dub is great for it. But there are, like, sometimes most of the time I watch the sub version. That's just what I do. Sometimes, depending, I'll watch the English dub. I'll check out the English dub. If it's good, I'll watch that. But most of the time I do the English sub. And I had people complaining about that, and I had a lot of hostile people telling me that I made the video too small. Make it larger so that way I can watch it on my phone, or I can watch it on my TV. And I was getting hostile comments from people, like throwing a lot of insults and name calling around, and I'm thinking, you know what? I don't want these hostile people on my channel. You know, if you can't be civil and mature, you're not welcome. You know, plain and simple. And I'm like, I don't want these people on my channel. Like, I don't want these people coming to my channel. That's not who my channel is for. That's not who my videos are for. And then I also had people, like I said, had people telling me that I made the video too small. If you've been on YouTube any bit of time, you know, and apparently some of these people don't, you can't, if I would have made the video any larger, the videos would not have been uploaded. They would have been blocked worldwide. There's nothing that I can do about that. If you want to make a change to that, if you want to change that, you start working for YouTube, work your way up the ranks, and change their system. But I couldn't make the video larger because otherwise copyright. And so, like I said, some of them have even, since I finished the second stage, have got blocked worldwide, and I'm not even going to bother with redoing those videos. Because what's the point? Besides that, I also had other people telling me that I should have shut up. I should have remained silent throughout the entire reaction. What's the point of going to a reaction? Just watch the original video instead. What's the point? Me, I go to a reaction because I want to see people's reactions and I want to hear their commentary. I would feel like an idiot if I complained to somebody that they should have remained silent and stoic throughout the entire video. It would be pointless for me to go to a reaction video. I should just go to the original instead. But yet, I had people commenting telling me that they didn't want to see my crappy face. I'm not kidding. That's one of the comments that I got. Actually, there's a few that I got like that, telling me they didn't want to see my face. You know what? If you don't want to see my face, you don't have to come to my channel. You don't have to watch my videos. Plain and simple. You don't like bananas? Don't eat bananas. You don't like apples? Don't eat them. Don't shove them in your face and then complain about it. And so it was just, all this was just really making me stressed. All of this was just making me really stressed, and I was losing interest in Initial D. I was losing complete interest in Initial D, and I realized that I needed to make a choice. I needed to make a choice for myself. Was I going to continue to subject myself to something that I wasn't enjoying just for that sake, to satisfy these people that were becoming aggressive and impatient, or was I going to get rid of that stress? And I made the decision. And all of this started to happen through like halfway through the first stage. And I made the choice to finish with the first stage. I actually contemplated just finishing the first stage and just ending it. But I pushed through the first stage, and then I did the second stage. And once I finished the second stage, I made the decision that I was done. I was done with it. And you know what? It has felt like such a huge relief. It has. It's felt like such a huge relief to know that I'm not getting back into it again. It feels just such a huge relief for me. Like a huge weight has been lifted off of me. And it feels good to know that now I don't have to worry about that, because I don't believe in doing something if just for the sake of it if you don't enjoy it. I don't believe in that. And whenever I first started Initial D, I was having fun with it, but I quickly found out from Initial D that, there were other anime that I really enjoyed a lot more. But I was going to persist with it and see if I was going to persist with it. But then I started getting these impatient comments, people wanting me to continue with it. It didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter that I had work to have to do. Nope. People apparently just wanted me to, lose sleep and force myself to do videos anyway. It didn't matter that I had a family, things in the family to also go through like everybody does. Nope, I was supposed to tell my family, screw it, because I have to do these Initial D videos. It didn't matter that I had other videos that I wanted to do as well. And so it was just really making me stressed. And I realized that I needed to make a choice. I needed to make the mature decision. Did I want to continue with it and subject myself to something that I didn't enjoy just for the sake of it? Or do I make the call to quit and shed that burden? And I made the call to shed that burden, because I've come to realize that, and it's something that I didn't take into consideration whenever I first started doing videos, but I realize now that you can't satisfy everybody. And it honestly, it wasn't fair. It wasn't fair to me or to people that follow me to continue to make myself watch the series, watch the show whenever I wasn't enjoying it to its fullest potential. Whenever I wasn't really enjoying it. It wasn't fair to me, and it wasn't fair to people that watch me because they weren't seeing me enjoy it to my fullest potential. And me, I have a lot more fun watching people on YouTube whenever they are enjoying themselves. If they don't want to do something, it's for me it's no fun watching them do something that they don't want to do. You know, it's just suffering. I'd rather watch someone that is having fun doing what they're doing what they are doing. And so I kind of applied that logic to myself. You know, do I continue to subject myself to something that I wasn't having fun with, or do I stop? And so I made the decision to stop. And like I said, I don't regret that decision. I really don't. And so the reason I decided to do this video was because even now I still get comments from time to time asking me, am I going to continue it? And I thought it best that I go ahead and do this video and announce that I have finished the series as far as I'm going to go with it, and explain why. YouTube is one reason, but then I also got burned out on it. I had a lot of impatient people that just started, like, just asking me seemingly every single video, when am I going to continue? Getting upset because I got the make of a car wrong. People getting upset because I didn't know as much about these vehicles as they did. People getting upset because I wanted to do other things on my channel, and I was just getting stressed. And it was not fair to me to continue to do something that I didn't want to do, that I was losing interest in, and it wasn't fair for me to continue it. Um, and people that did enjoy it, that were patient and civil, it wasn't fair to them because they weren't seeing me enjoy it to my fullest extent. And so, again, to all the people that were calm and civil and understanding and patient, thank you all so much. All of those of you who shared information about the locations and the vehicles, happily willing to share that knowledge, thank you all so much. I really appreciate the support, and I really appreciate all of you guys following me. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. You guys are honestly the reason why that I pushed through it until the end of the second season of the second stage. But like I said, the comments, the insulting comments, and the hate-filled comments, those people are not welcome on my channel. Like, that is not what I want my channel to be about, and that's like, if you're going to if you want to be hostile, take that hostility somewhere else. Look at yourself in the mirror, call yourself names, you know, get it out of your system, but don't do it to other people. I myself, I look at that like I do in like a real life perspective. I would much rather hang around calm, civil people who can have a civilized conversation without resorting to name calling or insults. I would much rather hang around those people than someone who feels that they have to insult you to get their point across. And that's what some people felt like doing here in the comments, and those kind of people I don't want to hang around. And I don't want them here on my channel. And so I made the call to stop doing Initial D. And so, to those who were calm, civil, and patient, and understanding, and mature, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you for following me. And to the people otherwise, yeah, I won't be doing any more. So, you know, you don't have to worry about seeing my face anymore, because you're not because I'm done with Initial D. So you don't have to worry about that anymore. And so again, I wanted to make this video and address that, and, you know, kind of make it officially known that I had stopped doing Initial D. And if I get any other further comments from people asking, am I going to continue, I'm just going to go ahead and link them this video and let them know why. But I thought it best that I do this video. I know some people won't watch it. You know, they'll just automatically, they won't watch it. they'll just be looking for the Initial D videos themselves. But whenever I get a comment like that, I'm just going to link them this video and tell them, you know what? It's not my problem that you don't follow important, informative videos. It's not my problem that you don't. And so I wanted to make this video and let people know about that. So, like, I'm not angry, I'm not angry whatsoever. So I don't want people thinking that I'm angry about this. I just wanted to make this video let people know why, that I decided to stop doing this. And, like, I've been watching other anime since, and before anybody asks, I did have people ask me about what about doing One Gun Midnight, and I already, I think, finished the first season of that. I think it was like over a year ago. And again, I mean, I liked it, but again, for me, I like X-Driver and Gunsmith Cats a lot more, and you're under arrest. I like those a lot more. Um, but if anybody asks, will I be doing any other anime on the channel? Probably not, because of how strict YouTube is. Probably not. I could do reviews of anime. I can do that. I can do reviews. Um, Regular reviews that don't have reactions. I can do that. But because of how strict YouTube is today, I really don't want to take a chance. I really don't want to take a chance. So, no. But anyway, I want to make this video, and so hopefully some people will understand why. Like I said, one big reason I quit is because I just got burned out on it. I was getting stressed, and it's not fair for me to make myself continue to be stressed whenever I don't have to be. And it's not fair to the calm and civil people either. It's not fair to you guys, to the good people that, watch these videos. It's not fair to you guys either, because you're not seeing me at my best. You're not seeing me enjoy it to my fullest extent, to its fullest extent. You're not seeing that, and it's not fair to you guys. It's not fair to myself either. And I don't believe making myself suffer. I don't believe in subjecting myself to something that I don't have an interest in just for the sake of it. Some people do that. I'm not one of them. And so, and like I said, I don't hate the Initial D fandom. I want to make that clear. I don't hate the Initial D fandom. I know that not everybody in the Initial D fandom or the Gearhead community in general, I know that not everybody are like that. I know that. I mean, like, the Initial D fandom, there were a lot of people that were still, that are still really cool people. They're understanding, they're mature, and so I really appreciate that, and I'm not, like, my view of the Initial D fandom is not tarnished because of some impatient, aggressive people, so you don't have to worry about that. I still have a lot of respect for the Initial D fandom, and there's some really cool people out there. I know that, and some of them watch my videos and commented, and so to all of you, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And but unfortunately, I started getting some of those bad apples from that bunch on my channel, and it was just becoming like more and more of them were coming to my channel, and my videos are not for them. My channel is not for them. I want calm, civil, understanding people. That is who my channel is for. That is who my videos are for. But the aggressive people, you're not welcome. Those aggressive types, you're not welcome. Plain and simple, okay? Like I said, go scream at yourself in the mirror. But I don't like, and a lot of people I know can say the exact same thing. If you want to be aggressive and hostile, do it somewhere else. Okay? But I wanted to make this video and let that be known. So again, thanks to those good people who follow me through Initial D, and maybe, like, I hope maybe some of you will still find some entertainment on some of the other videos that I do anyway. So I appreciate that. I appreciate the support through that. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. So thank you again, and thank you guys again for joining. Hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next video that I do. Take care.